Hello, YouTube. Welcome to episode 9, Being Humble. Today was very up and down. I went to go get a tan, really enjoyed that. I went to my cousin's. He let me stay on his little lawn chair type vibe and got some rays, not that many clouds. Was happy about that. And then the market didn't do exactly what I wanted to do. So I messed up in the beginning, and since I couldn't use a day trade in the allotted day trades I'm allowed on Robinhood, I was forced to stay in a position that was getting worse and worse as the day went on. As you can see here, I lost about $1,100, and that's more than I expected from the last video till today. So I'm pretty mad about that. And the worst part about it was I bought puts thinking that it was going to go down, and I knew it was going to go down, but then for some reason I sold them out of panic and thinking that it would go up, and as a result those puts jumped over 150%, and I would have been a lot happier with that than losing. At the moment I'm down in that position specifically, down 60%. I'm up overall in the week, so I'm not too mad or complaining about it, but it's just very unfortunate that I didn't stick with my gut feeling and knowing what's right instead of being hasty, like I've mentioned before. So I'm still trying to get better at it, and it will show that I can hit these marks a lot better and be more precise with my decisions. Overall, I should not second guess my own judgment on charts and how I feel about it, and I shouldn't panic so quickly and move so hastily, as I mentioned before in some other videos. So moving forward, I'm going to just stick with what I get into, knowing the total outcome versus what I believe might be happening randomly. The other thing that was really down about today was the fact that after I was done tanning, I went to go pick up the towel and my phone flew and I cracked it. Yes, I'm Team Samsung, but I had this phone for over 2 years, never had a case, and finally it went boom. Pretty much I could use the bottom half of my phone. I lost maybe a couple clips of my workout videos, but it's okay. I'm gonna figure out how to unlock it so I can get those clips and I'll post them. But overall, it's very unfortunate that I lost this phone, but I soon realized that I was available for an upgrade and everything like that. So we are Team iPhone. Yes, we got the new iPhone Pro Max. I believe that's what it's called. And let me tell you, it's a completely different UI. I'm trying to figure out slowly but surely. And I have my friends help me. Shout out to Vort, and he's really helping me understand how to use my iPhone better and make it more optimized for my personal liking. If you have any settings or comments about or tips or even apps that you think are really useful for the iPhone, let me know in the comment section. Being humble is a trait that combines the absence of arrogance and pride. It's a mixture of those two that you don't have in your personality. Some acts of becoming humble can be relatively easy to achieve and start doing. Some examples are not judging people by what they say or past or history or even how they look, such as people who are working on their personal flaws instead of pointing it out, and maybe they're trying to get better. You have no idea. There's no reason to poke at it, or things that would necessarily bother you and you let it take over your other emotions such as anger and everything like that. Me personally, I'm very I used to be very petty, and I soon realized that it's not a good trait to have, and I'm learning to be better at trying. Like, I have the ideas of being petty, but acting upon them I do not do. So that's a good thing for me, as it's not something that I would be proud of if I acted upon those things. So I let them be, and I just kind of fantasize about it in my head, if you will. Other ways of being humble are taking responsibilities of your mistakes. Like, if you misspoke or you said something a little bit hurtful and you apologize. That's another thing. being apologetic about things that may have hurt someone that you might not have seemed hurtful at the time, but they took it as an offense. If they communicate that to you, you should acknowledge it and really work towards not making the same mistake again. Other ways of becoming more humble is accepting criticism or possible feedback from other perspectives. Even though some people might not be in the position where they could give you those criticisms or criticize what you're doing or even give their opinion, hear them out. At the end of the day, you don't have to take it and use it, but just understand that usually it's coming from a good place in their heart to want to help and maybe push you in the right direction. Another way, in arguments or conversations, one way of being humbled is knowing when you're wrong and accepting that the other person may be correct about the subject, and you just have to understand that. Understanding and moving towards a resolution is better than keeping going back and forth and trying to prove a point that you may not even know is correct. You might assume. If someone knows the better overall understanding of the topic, maybe you should give it more of a listen or more research on your end to at least meet in the middle. There's really a fine line between being humble and showing off. When you boast about your achievements, it's not necessarily a show off if you worked really hard for it, but bragging about it constantly can be very uncomfortable for other people that are not in the same position. And so you have to take that into consideration, sadly. Rather than showing off, maybe have when someone questions about the topic, you take credit and you can explain or move forward if you want to, if you're really passionate about the subject or whatever you did that you accomplished that someone might find interesting. Keep it simple. Celebrate those wins. You might not have to post or tell people, everyone that you know, that you did this or XYZ. Just cherish the moment within yourself and the close ones that understand that you were doing what you were doing in the first place. Not everyone knows your life story and where you got, and some might find it as a little much from their perspective. In this world, you can be humbled very quickly, as there's usually always someone better than you. In some aspect, but not all, there will always have either a talent or be smarter, or they just don't quit and work really hard more than you. So when you think you're doing the most, there might be someone out in this world that's doing more. So keep your head up, but not your nose. Another way of being humbling is giving credit to their teammates per se. Don't think you're a one-man army and you did everything by yourself unless you really did. Give credit to your peers and the people that helped you along the way. Share that glory. Finally, be grateful for what you have and what you could have in the future. Live within your means. Don't try to spend or even show more than what you could actually do, because it will bite you in the butt in the long run. Being humble is a great trait. It's honestly something that not many people have, and you can easily make it part of your personality, as in a way it's just being a nicer and more thoughtful person to everyone around you. Some acts of being humble can be very easily obtainable. So I thank you for tuning in today's episode, and I hope to see you tomorrow for another one. So please like, subscribe, and even comment how you stay humble, as I would like to know. So thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.